it's Chris Eads, known online as Wootini, here with another one of my Gay Gamer video podcasts. This week, I went to the movies, and I saw A Haunting in Venice. I hadn't seen the previous Kenneth Branagh, Agatha Christie movies, but this one, the trailer looked cool. It had it looked spooky and whatever, so I thought, all right, I'll give it a shot. There's nothing else out, so why not? And it was good. It was fine. I didn't see the other two, but I feel like this one, they're kind of not as star-studded as I think the original one and the next one was. But the cast is good, and the script is solid. There's atmosphere. It's spooky, and things go bump in the night and all that sort of thing. I just wish at the end, when he's revealing the whodunit, I just wish that there had been more clues for the audience to pick up on. Because that's always, for me, when I watch a whodunit kind of movie, it's half the fun. Is when they get to the solution and you're like, oh, I didn't realize that's what that was, So it could have been better. I don't know if the other two are better at that sort of thing than this, but here I was just sort of like, it comes together and his explanation makes sense and it all works, but you're just sort of watching it from the outside and he's saying things and you're just like, okay, he's like, oh, when I saw this, I knew that. And you're like, okay, I didn't see that, so I didn't get to figure that out myself. So, because I prefer to do that when I watch it. I mean, obviously when you watch a whodunit movie, you don't want to figure it out in the first 5 minutes. That's a bad movie or story. But as things go along, you notice things so that at the end, when the solution is revealed, you say, oh, I saw that. That's what that meant. Oh, I didn't figure that out, But here, you don't have that. Like in Glass Onion, I saw something, and I said to Frank, why did he just do that? He's like, what did he just do? And I was like, I don't know, maybe it's nothing. But then at the end, it turned out that was part of the solution, and it was like, oh, I saw that. I was right. I was suspicious because of what I saw. And if you're not paying attention, you don't see it. So that's the kind of thing that makes you feel better when you watch a whodunit. So it's fine. There wasn't anything else to see, so I went. But the summer glut is now ending, so now there's weeks where there's no new releases that I care about. But this weekend I also had the opportunity to catch a movie that I was not able to see at the beginning of the summer when there were just way too many movies and I didn't have time to see them all. It was a smaller movie and I'm like, this can wait. And then there were just too many other movies and then it wasn't in theaters and then I'm like, oh well. And now it's on Hulu suddenly, very quickly. And it's called Theater Camp. And I just wanted to quickly mention it because it was charming and delightful and funny. It's basically the story of a theater camp called Adirondacks. And they are in financial trouble and the owner has a stroke and her son, who knows nothing about theater, has to come in and try to run the camp and he has to try to save it. And he obviously butts heads with the theater kids who are theater kids and, he's like a big bro. And hilarity ensues. And it's just very funny. All the different personalities, it's all over the top and it's all very it's just very funny. And I enjoyed it. And if you have any interest in such things and have Hulu, check it out. It was good. And then as for games, as you might recall from last episode, I was very angry with No Man's Sky for not letting me play the new DLC and not telling me why I couldn't play the new DLC. That was also really frustrating. I tried to do everything I was supposed to do in order to play the new DLC, but it still wouldn't let me. So I had to put it aside, and I decided that I would buy Sea of Stars. And I decided to get that on the Switch because it's not like it would have better graphics on the PS5. And I thought that with the Switch, I have the portability option, so I can play it in the other room, I can play it on the train, I can play it wherever, it's fine. It'll help me finish it faster. Even though it's an indie game, so even though it's an RPG, it's not going to be 50 hours. It's much more reasonable. But yeah, so and you might recall from a previous episode when I played the demo of Sea of Stars, which was, I played the demo on the Switch, so I thought, well, I'll just get it for the Switch, it's fine. I enjoyed the demo a great deal, so I was very much looking forward to this game. And it happened to release in just the perfect time where I had a small window where I could play a smaller game that wouldn't take too long to finish, and hopefully this is that. And it's so good. Like, if you like old school RPG fun, this captures that so perfectly. And it's on like every platform, so you can get it for whatever you want. Definitely check it out. It's so good. Like, the story is terrific. It's basically, the usual, like, these kids have magic powers, so they're tasked with saving the world. But the script is very cleverly written, and like, there's a group of pirates that you meet where one of them, she like seems to know she's in a game and makes all these references, and it's very, very funny. And then later, no spoilers, because I'm sure people are ahead of me, but just in case, the game even talks about how these kids are tasked with saving the world, and it's like, well, don't you just want to live a normal life? Like, why do you have to save the world? That doesn't seem fair, and it like just sort of puts things in puts things in a different perspective, and it's very interesting. And it kind of, even though it has the same RPG tropes, it sort of occasionally will poke fun at those tropes, which is very enjoyable for me. It's great, and the gameplay is also like really nice. Like, it gives me kind of a Golden Sun kind of feel to it. Like, not exactly, but it's similar in the way that you're exploring the areas, and there's different, like, climbing up to here and jumping across to here, and then you also have like special abilities that you gain along the way that allow you to manipulate the environment so that you can reach new areas and find different treasure and bonus items and that sort of thing. And it gives me kind of a Golden Sun kind of feel as far as like exploring the areas and using your abilities to like get to different places and do different things and that sort of stuff, and figure that stuff out. That I enjoy. Like, one of them, it's very funny because one of them is you can change the time of day. Like, there's certain areas where you can like stand on a platform and change the time of day in order to like make stuff happen. And there was to teach you how to use this new power, there's like a section of platforms with like, you have to change the time of day to make the bridge appear to get to the next platform. So it's like day, it's like, make it night. Next one, make it day again. Make it night again. And it was very funny because it made me realize, as I was doing this, I thought, what about the poor people living in the village down below? Like, are they like, oh, time to do the harvest. Oh, no, it's nighttime. Oh, wait, no, it's day again. Like, how do you live your life when it just can change from day to night in the blink of an eye? That's like kind of random. And that just made me laugh. And the actual combat, it is wonderfully turn-based. It is traditional turn-based RPG combat, but you do have the ability to press the button as you attack to maybe get in an extra hit, or when you're being attacked, you can press it at just the right time to kind of block it and take a little less damage than you normally would. So that's really helpful, both to help do more damage and take less damage during the battle, but also just to keep you engaged after you've made your selection of, which character you want to attack and with which ability or power or whatever. It just helps keep you engaged. So that's fun. And then certain abilities, like the one character, Valerie, she has this like moonerang ability that like she shoots a moon and then has to deflect it back onto each enemy. And depending on your reflexes, you can get in quite a few hits. My reflexes aren't great, so I've had a few times where I've had like tons and tons of hits, and then there's times when like on the fourth one I blow it. And then you feel like you wasted your magic points, but whatever. So it's just great. It's so much fun. I will say there's one thing that I do not like, and that is early on in the game, that same fun pirate woman, she gives you these pieces, these game pieces, and says, here are some game pieces. You can go play this game called Wheels. It's at that table over in the corner there. And you can find Wheels tables at all different like pubs and restaurants around the world. And I'm like, oh, the mini game within the game. So I go in the pause menu to read the instructions for the minigame. Because the pause menu has great instructions for all the controls, the battles, the exploration, everything that you need to know how to do, like the cooking minigame. And then I looked at the instructions for wheels, and I was just like, oh my god, like, this is impenetrable. Like, this literally, like, I'm like, I understand these words, but when they are strung together in these configurations of sentences, they do not mean anything to me. Like, I'm just like, I don't understand the point of this game. I don't understand what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, it was just... So I went to the wheels table to see if maybe playing it would make it make sense. It just made it worse. Because there is no tutorial. The first time you play wheels, it's just like, go ahead. And you can choose, there's like a casual game or like a tournament kind of game, like a serious game. And I'm like, no, casual. And then I'm trying to play it, and I'm just like, wait, but I'm doing everything. Who am I playing against? What is happening? And I don't understand a word of this. And so I just quit. After like one round, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I just quit. I was like, forget this. This makes literally no sense to me. So we will not be playing that mini game within the game. But again, it's another RPG trope. Like, all these games have like mini games within them. And I'm just like, I'm here to play Horizon. I'm not here to play your little tabletop game in the bar. You know? I'm here to play Witcher. I'm not here to play Gwen. It's the only one I can remember the name of. I don't remember the Horizon game. But other than that, totally loving Sea of Stars. It's fantastic. It's so good. And it's just charming and fun. It's scratching that old, classic RPG itch for me. Very much recommended. I checked a walkthrough, because I played it a lot over the past week, and I was just like, I feel like I'm racing through it, and I need to maybe pace myself a little. Looking at a walkthrough, it seems like there's 3 chapters to the whole story, and I'm nearing the end of chapter 1. So I'm like, okay, let's slow it down a little, because I need it to last until October 20th. But I don't want to finish too early, because then I'll feel like I need to play something else in between. I want to try to stretch it out until the 20th when Spider-Man 2 comes out, because I'm so excited about Spider-Man 2. I'm actually planning on pre-ordering the game at Best Buy and taking the day off work so that I can go and get it. Because previously I would just order it, but then you end up sitting around all day waiting for UPS or Amazon to show up with your package, and then you're just wasting hours waiting for a delivery. I'd rather just go get it myself. And it sucks, because there used to be a GameStop in my neighborhood, but it closed down years ago, and that would have been ideal, because that was like $4 or $5 away. I would have gone in there, prepaid for the whole thing, and I could have just gotten up, run around the corner, picked up my game, run home, and just start playing all day long. But now I've got to go all the way down to Atlantic Center and get it at Best Buy, so, oh well. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So I just need to stretch Sea of Stars out just a smidge to make it last until the 20th. And then I can start playing Spider-Man and explore New York City and have a blast as Peter and Miles. So come back next episode, see what movie I went to see and how I'm still enjoying Sea of Stars. I'm assuming I'll still be enjoying Sea of Stars. I mean, I don't see why I wouldn't be. We'll find out next episode. Bye!